Hi guys, welcome to Game of Box Office. Today's analysis is about The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. Let us start off with a bunch of statistics. The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey was released December 14th, 2012 with an estimated budget of $220 million. The movie was produced by Warner Bros. And MGM and ran in theaters for 133 days. The Hobbit opened to $84.6 million domestically and went on to gross a total of $303 million. Overseas, the total revenue from theaters was $718 million, making The Hobbit pass the $1 billion mark globally with a total $1,021 million combined revenue. This places the movie 21st most successful around the globe and 53rd most successful in the USA. Looking purely at those numbers, The Hobbit certainly seems to have done really well. But since it is designed as a prequel to the much-loved Lord of the Rings trilogy, it makes sense to compare the two. The Lord of the Rings was released in 3 parts: Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, and Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, in mid-December of the years 2001, 2002 and 2003 respectively. The trilogy netted a revenue of $871.5 million, $926.0 million and $1.1 billion, theoretically placing The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey somewhere in between The Two Towers and The Return of the King. However, there are a couple of factors to be noted that point to the trilogy actually being the bigger box office hit than The Hobbit. First of all, the price for tickets has increased considerably over the years, which is also the reason you rarely see older movies in top box office lists. There are movie lists with adjusted prices, but that will be subject of another video. Regarding just the adjusted domestic revenue, every Lord of the Rings movie was a bigger success than The Hobbit. If you also take into account that the Lord of the Rings movies were much stronger internationally, it becomes clear how much The Hobbit pales in comparison. Another quite important factor is, of course, 3D. Obviously, ticket prices for 3D movies are, compared to non-3D, more expensive. In fact, about 40% of The Hobbit's total income was brought in by 3D, while all of the Lord of the Rings movies were shot in regular 2D. If we adjust the numbers taking all those points into consideration, The Hobbit drops to $911.5 million, whereas the trilogy adjusts to $1.22 billion, $1.26 billion and $1.48 billion. On screen you can see the gaps between the movies in percentages, and it becomes very clear that The Hobbit is no match for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. What can be said in conclusion about The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey? Of course was the movie a great success financially. A movie with $220 million budget grossing over $1 billion can by no means be called a failure. It broke the $300 million mark in the USA, which is a nice achievement, although for the last 10 years the $400 million are the really impressive mark to break. The multiplier of 3.5 seems impressive, but it can't be too big of a factor with movies released around Christmas because they usually make their money in the long run, even huge blockbusters. Furthermore, one has to keep in mind that certain franchises like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars or movies from the Marvel universe create a kind of fanboy effect that guarantee a large amount of people watching it. The Hobbit could have been garbage. It would still have made the $900 million simply because the movie is set in Middle-earth. Interesting is what The Hobbit could have made had it been an outstanding movie with outstanding critics. I estimate $1.5 billion as a realistic best case scenario. The Game of Box Office team rates The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey with the grade B. Our upcoming video will be an analysis about either American Sniper, The Dark Knight or Star Wars: A New Hope. We hope you liked the analysis. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Below you can see our other social network accounts. Bye bye.